about purity, I am beyond excited to be able to introduce my guest today. We have Amy Perkins.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, she's very meaningful in my life. Years ago, she was a leader in my life, and we've just kept in touch throughout the years. She is a mama of two kids, an incredible wife, and a passionate prophetic voice. I'm so excited to introduce her today to this conversation.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, so Amy, what would you like to?
Yes, well, so excited to be here and so excited that you are joining us and what that is, and just a statement of who you are and what you're passionate about and what you're hungry for. And so today I just want to share just a little bit of statistics. I have been doing discipleship with young women between 18 and 25 for the last 14 years. And in that setting of discipleship, one of the conversations that comes up is purity. And I would say 14 years ago, on average, it was probably 1 in 5 of young women who were struggling with pornography and with masturbation. But over the course of 14 years, the crazy rate at which that has actually accelerated, that's really alarming. And that statistic from my experience has become 4 in 5 of young women are struggling with looking at pornography and masturbation. And so that's crazy. I don't feel old. I'm not. But just to see that even in the last 10 years, how much that has escalated. And how much that's going to continue to escalate. And I think one of the struggles we have as women is we think that it's just a man thing. Is that they're the ones who struggle with that. But there is a clear tactic from the enemy, and there's a strategy in marketing and business that is targeting young women specifically to pull them into an industry. And so
that industry being the pornography industry, right?
And so I think I just want to encourage you today, one, that you're not alone.
That's right.
And when I've sat in groups of girls, that's the number one thing they're struggling with is, I don't want to talk about this. I want to talk about it because of how shameful they feel and the stereotypes. This is just, the thing that the guys talk about all the time that they struggle with. So number one, I just want to encourage you that you're not alone in this. And that two, if you would be bold enough courageous enough to just open up and share about it. That your sharing in a safe setting with safe people could actually unlock somebody else's freedom as well. And that's what I saw happen, is the one girl who would finally say, I'm struggling with this, would unlock every single girl and finally give her permission to share about her struggle.
So you've been involved in discipleship throughout the years, and so could you, for our viewers, what does that look like? Is it like 5 girls? Is it like a church? Or what has your discipleship setting been like?
So I've been in a ministry setting, a discipleship school. So it would be where young adults would sign up for a year of intensely wanting to pursue Jesus and know the word and worship and prayer and ministry, learning, ministry, having a ministry experience. And so one of the components was, okay, we're gonna run hard after Jesus really intensely. That we would run after Jesus together. And so that's kind of what the context has been.
I love that, and I ask because I want them to hear that the story that she just referenced of this one girl that was courageous enough to open up and share her testimony. These are girls that are sold out to God. You know what I mean?
Like they're wanting to be worship leaders and preachers. And they're saying they're the radical ones. And they're the ones struggling.
And the devil is strategic in who he goes after. And so she gave you a very practical tool here today, and vulnerability is a strategic, powerful way to disarm the enemy, and it does take courage. It does take courage.
Oh my gosh.
When that one girl shared, what was the ripple effect like? Talk about that a bit.
Well, the meeting that was normally an hour turned into multiple meetings. Because it was like one girl would share, and it was just the brokenness of finally I feel like okay, I can talk about this.
Yeah, it's
and
freeing.
yeah, so freeing. So then the ripple effect that it looked like for these girls were just fierce accountability.
Yes.
And what that looked like is on a daily basis.
Wow.
And so they would come home, after their day at, college and work, and they would just share today here's the laundry list of thoughts that I had, and I undressed that guy with my eyes, and I pictured us doing things, and just having just a high standard in order that the enemy would have no room. Because when it lives in the light, the enemy is disarmed.
Right.
And so
good.
so as they would just bring those things to the light, the levels of freedom that these girls walked in, because they started from the little things, not days and weeks and months later, I'm finally admitting to going this far and doing all of these things, but I'm going to nip it in the bud, and I'm going to start all the way back here to here's where my thoughts were today.
Powerful. I love that. So I hope you guys are hearing the practical tools that Amy is sharing today. So first of all, having that courage to be the first one. You don't know who else will follow in suit. And have that before you. You are no longer a captive, and by nature of you being vulnerable, who else is going to be set free? And then the accountability, walking it out, but really getting all of it out there, not just vaguely, but what were the particulars of the thoughts that you're thinking, continually confessing them and bringing them into the light. I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then lastly, I think one of the things I've come to term is what I call the second glance. And that's the idea that we live in a culture and society where you're going to see things. Things are going to pop up on your phone. You're going to see ads. You're going to see a hot guy going down the street. And so we can't control the things that we see, but what we can control is if we continue to look at them. And what we can't control is, are we going to look at them again, or are we going to click on that ad, or are we going to flip to that, in that Cosmo magazine, where it's talking about, the sex tips for whatever. And so even in my own life, I'm a married woman now, and I have 2 kids, but it's still a fight.
It's a battle.
Hello, we're sexual beings.
And
so it's part of who we are, how the Lord made us. But we still need accountability even at my age and in my season of life. And so I just encourage you, when you see those things, to look away and not continue to look. And when I began to utilize that tool and realizing, I do have control over this, just guarding the eye gate is what I call it. And so I just would encourage you to just realize that you don't have control over necessarily what you see, but you do have control of what you continue to look at.
That's awesome.
And that's one of the first steps in not getting down the road so far.
Amen. Well, listen, thank you so much for tuning in. If you got anything out of this conversation, I encourage you to tell people about these conversations. We're just scratching the surface of the topic of purity, but we need to start scratching it. We need to start having this conversation, and so invite other people into it. Amy is amazing. Continue to stay connected to her. I really encourage you in that. And then lastly, I pray that you feel empowered. The more that we have these conversations, all of these things are things you can actively do. You are not a victim. So get vulnerable, get accountable, the second glance things, those are all within your control. Right?
Yes.
So feel empowered.
Yep.
So so thank you so much, Amy.
Yes.